I'm not bitter, Paul. I'm just sort of lonely. Hello and welcome to CNN's News of the Absurd. I'm Jarrett Bellini and this is our very special, not so special Valentine's Day episode. Now, normally, this is where I would tell you what a ridiculous sham Valentine's Day is and how it needs to be eradicated from the face of the earth in a fiery explosion of candy hearts and rose petals. But this year, because the economy is doing so poorly, I'm not going to say that Valentine's Day is a sham holiday that needs to be eradicated from the face of the earth in a fiery explosion of candy hearts and rose petals. That's right, I'm going to embrace it. So go out for dinner, circulate some money, and help support the struggling restaurant servers of America. Sort of like this lady.
She just did it.
That is the sweetest thing ever.
Ever. The biggest tip I've ever gotten.
Amanda Burbeck was just doing her job, waiting tables at a Washington, D.C. restaurant, when one of her regulars asked why her boyfriend of 6 years hadn't given her a ring. To which Amanda innocently replied,
"With everything that's been going on and struggling with trying to survive and keeping a roof over our heads, there was never enough money that we could put to the side and say, hey, let's, try to build up for this beautiful ring that we want to show our love to each other."
The customer, who Amanda only knew as Rose, came in the very next day and handed her a box. Inside, a football phone! I can also do one with Snuggie. Do you think Snuggie would be funnier? I can do that.
Then I opened it up and it was just this beautiful diamond ring, and she just said it's ours.
It was crazy. I just came home and she was like, baby, baby.
At which point, his diamond ring fund immediately became his PlayStation 3 fund. Score. Of course, now that they have the ring, they actually have to go and get married. And for some couples in California, that's become a whole lot more creative. You see, under California law, couples now have the option of choosing a hybrid last name. To help us understand, meet Christina Schumacher and Anthony Watson.
We have like Wattmacher, what else?
Schusen.
It's the Name Equality Act of 2007, and for all those people who weren't around to instantly kill their family history at Ellis Island, this is for you.
You can take segments of your last names and combine them together to make a new name.
For example, Bob Brennan and Mary Martinez could become Breninez, or Brenez, or Martinin, or Martian, just so long as the new name uses at least 2 letters from each previous name, doesn't change the order, and renders them both completely untraceable by high school friends on Facebook. It's like a jumble.
To have and to hold.
Having to hold.
But let's get back to our happy couple, Christina and Anthony, exchanging vows at the county recorder's office, where love goes to die.
I think it's really kind of dumb, but they probably have a need out there, obviously, to pass a law for it.
Finally, we end with the very iconic symbol of Valentine's Day, the heart. Only this one wasn't encrusted in something cute, like Be Mine, but rather a thin layer of epicardium.
Couldn't tell whether it was animal or human, and then I started to think about it, and it was kind of an eerie feeling.
Recently, the owner of Soapy's Car Wash in Grand Rapids, Michigan, made a rather bizarre discovery in one of his cleaning bays.
Sitting kind of up in the corner, leaning against the corner there, and I was picking up the quarters, and when I turned, I think my boot just hit it a little bit, and I looked down and it was laying right there. It was laying flat on the floor.
A heart, possibly human, possibly animal, definitely non-functioning.
What bothered me about this was the bay had not been used, and just that heart was there by itself, so it was kind of suspicious, so that's why we called the police.
A local vet and a cardiologist were both unable to figure out the heart's species, and thus, I recommend never going to Grand Rapids if you have a heart condition and/or a dog. I mean, really. Eventually, though, the heart was sent to a forensics lab in Lansing, where proper science nerds were able to determine that it came from a deer. However, the deer was unavailable for comment because it's a deer. Well, that's all for this Valentine's Day edition of News of the Absurd. I'm Jarrett Bellini, and look, I have a heart on. Ready?
Went over your head, didn't it?
What did I miss?